Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I've got a pair of pliers here that I've been wanting to do a video on for quite some time, but I wanted to make sure that I tried out these icons for a little bit first to kind of get a real world feel of how much I like them compared to their counterparts here that you see are these snap-ons. And you may know already, or maybe this is new to you, but these two pliers are very similar. And Icon, essentially, you could either think of it as has paid respects or homage to Snap-on, or they downright just stole the design from Snap-on. I'll let you guys be the judge there. But what we do have here are these two pliers, and Snap-on has had these pliers for quite a few years now, and they are 3-position Snap-on 47 ACFs, very popular, very well known in the industry, and a very good set of pliers. And they are 8-inch long pliers. Again, they're the combo slip joint, 3 positions, as you can see here, which makes them very nice and unique. And they call them the Talon Grips, and that's because of this jaw and what's going on inside. We'll go into that here just a little bit as we dive into this comparison. But Icon has created the same type of plier, just dubbed it Icon, made their own little changes, and again, it has a very similar jaw style, but there are some differences between these two pliers, and I want to go through them here. I also am going to give them a test of see how hard they are steel-wise, because hardness is going to help you determine how long these are going to last wear-wise, because you're going to be grabbing onto a lot of hardened bolts or fasteners or just metals in particular that are going to be hard or harder than these, and you want to know, at least I would want to know, which ones are going to hold up to that everyday use, especially when it comes to these little teeth down here. We'll take a look at those, which ones are stronger, and maybe we'll give it a little tug test too to see which one's able to pull harder of the two, and we'll put them both on this bolt and twist them and see which one is able to bite harder between the two. So let's jump in, let's take a look. As you guys know, these are the Snap-ons. Snap-on's done a great job with these over the years. And they come in different renditions. Mine are orange. Hopefully it comes through in the video. I put these in another video and they looked like they were red. They literally look red to me right now, but they are actually like a bright construction yellow grip, and they come in different colors. And what's nice is they have a nice, somewhat thick foam cushion grip that allows you to get a really good purchase on the handles and to squeeze without really fatiguing your hands. So they've done a good job at that. And they've also widened the handle here to run it over a larger surface area in your hand. One designation on the Snap-on that's different from the Harbor Freight Icon is the fact that they actually do some stamping in their forged process. So Stamps USA, and they have a stamped Snap-on icon down below here. And then also on the back, Icon does not have any of those bits to it. Otherwise, profile-wise, looking down the side, they look very much the same. The Icon is ever so slightly slimmer, both in the beam and also in the jaw area. As far as design, we'll flip this over this way. As far as jaw opening, they are fairly close. The Icon is a little bit larger, but even the shape of the teeth is identical in the larger jaw opening. Now, if you want to see something unique, we'll hop in here to the Talon Grip, and this is where things start to get a little bit different. So on this side, you can see the Snap-on has this X-shaped design, just like the Icon, but you'll notice that the teeth are blunted on the top, essentially kind of creating a cube look. Whereas the Icon keeps a sharp, pointy, grippy surface. Now if you rotate over to the opposite side, that is where, again, Icon keeps that exact same sharp profile, and now you can see the Snap-on starts to create a sharp profile, but even yet, the teeth themselves actually are slightly blunted. So they don't come to a super sharp point. Now, you might think to yourself, well, why didn't they keep them all sharp all the way through like Icon did? And I'll say this, out of the box, the Icon feels grippier when you hold on to items and pull, you know, because you have those sharp teeth. They're all biting in, and they all want to leave a mark as they go. Whereas the snap-on, it still gets a good grip, good hold, but it's a little bit slipperier. And I think the reason for snap-on doing that is because you're getting more surface area, and it's less likely to wear out as fast if you have a blended surface on one side and a little bit grippier surface on the other side. At least those are my thoughts thinking about why snap-on did that. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts if you think there's something else at play. So I think the downside is, well, early on, this set's going to do great gripping-wise, but as it wears, because those will wear, it's going to get duller and duller. And your jaw, the nice thing is they actually did a good job blending it inset. So as you squeeze, it actually finds its place and actually does a great job engaging those teeth into each other. But those are likely to dull out on both sides a little bit, or depending on how hard you work them, they're going to dull out a little bit. So that's the difference in their jaw. Other than that, the lower jaws, they look very much the same. They both have a wire cutter here. No need to dive deep into that. They're going to work exactly the same. Even the shape is exactly the same of how those wire cutters work. So, and then up here, your 3 positions, but also your rivet. I will note that the snap-on process here is very smooth. I have had an issue where this washer on the icon kind of binds up. So it's not quite as smooth of a process. Maybe I need to put a little more usage into it to see how it goes. But it functions exactly the same. We'll take a look here at max opening, at max jaw. Identical. So, virtual copycat of the two. You'll notice that the finish is a little bit different between the two. A little more of a satin finish on this, whereas this one feels it's just like part of the forging process. Finish is about the same. I will note that when you look at the jaw on the end, right, this is very much a squared off face, whereas the icon, when they were doing the final polishing, grinding, it obviously tapers to one side, so it's not a perfect setup. That's what you get, obviously, with an American-made product. In this case, Snap-on's done a really good job of that. And it's riveted on the back. Both have rivets. Both seem fairly substantial. These both seem nice. Snap-on's just a little bit cleaner. But functionality-wise, they're very similar. Now, I will note, I'll show you guys here real quick, as you squeeze, so I'll squeeze with my hand, watch the deflection in the icon. There's a little bit of deflection. Now, if I do the exact same thing with the snap-on, there's a little bit there too, but it's not as much. It feels much stiffer. So I will give the advantage to the metallurgy, to the snap-on in this case. So let's take a look here next at hardness of the two metals. So first up, let's do the highest hardness of 65, and we'll work our way down. We'll start on the snap-on first. And we'll do it here next to the jaw, where the most heat treating has been done. Okay, that did a good job. We'll bump down now to 60, HRC 60. Yep, that did it too, right next to it. So that still has still making a mark. We'll go down one more to HRC 55. Sorry, Tricky doesn't focus this time. That's getting pretty close. So still doing some scratches at 55. And we'll go down to HRC 50. Not really anything. So I'm going to say it's closer to 55. I mean, it didn't do a whole lot of damage on the 55. So I'm going to say it's close to 55-ish range. It may even go a little bit higher than 55 on the scale. So let's start next with the icon, and we'll start with 55 and see if we could go down from there. Alright, clearly made a mark at 55. Let's try 50. Yep, HRC 50 did leave a mark. Let's try HRC 45 right next to it. That's starting to get pretty close. We'll do one more at 40, see if anything happens. Nothing at 40. So I'm going to say between HRC 45 and 50, it's probably a little bit closer to the 50. So about 5 HRC difference between these two. Maybe a little bit more, 5 to 8, maybe in that range, I would say. So that's actually pretty substantial between the hardness. And as I mentioned with those teeth, those are sharper teeth, so those are going to want to wear out faster on this, especially since they're so exposed. And sharp edges want to get beat down when you put them and hold on to, you know, fasteners and squeeze on them and twist on them and slip on them. It's going to want to beat up those teeth a little bit faster. So let's do a side-by-side test real quick and see how well they do. Hold on this bolt, and we'll see which one gives way first. We'll do a couple runs switching it up just to make sure we got them on there. Alright, now we got them both on there. Let's just give it a twist and see which one wants to slip. Alright, so the only one that slipped in this case was the icon. Take a quick look and see if there's any damage. I think it's just mostly filings built up. It looks pretty good. Okay, so let's try the same thing again. We'll rotate out, though, and we'll give this a twist and see which one bites in better. Alright, snap-on spun that time. So, maybe this is softer metal on this end versus that side, but yeah, the snap-on is spinning, or maybe my right hand's stronger than my left. So, it might be a wash in this test. Well, I'm not going to bore you guys on this test, but essentially my right hand is stronger than my left, and it left me with a test that was inconclusive. The icon did better on one test, and the snap-on did better on the other. So I may or may not include this video, so we'll go on the next test. Alright, I wanted to see how well these would grab on to some fabric, if one would let go faster than the other, or if there's any difference in the grip between the two. Alright, so snap on, let go on the one end. Let's switch sides and see if that's still the case with the icon. Give a good grip. Yeah, again, inconclusive. Both sides let go on this side. So I'd say grip strength is going to be pretty close between the two, even though the talons are a little bit different design. Overall, both of these are going to be great sets of pliers. The main difference being USA made versus Taiwanese made. The metallurgy is better, at least 5 HRC, maybe upwards to 8 or 10, even possibly HRC difference between this and the icon. So better quality. Now, does that translate in price as well? Because pricing on the icon is $18, and that's before you get any additional discounts like icon 20% off or 25% off coupons that come out. So that price drops even lower for this icon set. Now the snap-on comes in at a hefty $61, so that is a fairly large price tag, and you can buy this in a bundle too with other pliers and whatnot, which just makes it a great set. But you have to ask yourself, what does your budget allow between the two? I still think the Snap-on is a better plier for sure. They are the originators of this plier set. But the icon at this price is actually very appealing. $17. You could easily buy 3 or more of these for the same price as that. And that allows you to put them in, well, either having one if you only need one, or if you need multiples for your go bags or vehicles or toolboxes, you name it. That's actually a pretty good setup for the icon. And it speaks good to how well they've managed to copy this, but keep their costs down. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Is it worth looking at the icon? Is it better to stick with Snap-on? Please let me know. And if you haven't already, please like this video and please subscribe. That way you don't miss out on future videos that are coming up. Alright guys, thank you again for watching. We'll talk to you soon.